Greetings, blessings, brothers and sisters, fellow luminaries, visionaries, light leaders. I want to take a few moments today and share with you about developing your intuition and also working with your empathic abilities. And I know that if you're listening to my voice, chances are you are a highly ambitious, mission-driven, heart-centered visionary, light leader, a luminary. Chances are you're running your own business or operating some kind of group or organization where you are service-oriented, mission-driven, doing your best to provide to your clients, your students, your community, whatever services you specialize in. And chances are you're already quite intuitive to some degree or another, and chances are you're already using your empathic sensitivity in some way, shape, or form, even if it's to the point of empathic overload, which is something I want to discuss today. But what I really want to bring to light is how developing your intuition can help you serve and contribute in the world even better. And how learning how to utilize your empathic abilities is going to not only expunge you from having empathic overload, which so many of us heart-centered, mission-driven, highly sensitive beings are dealing with, but not only is it going to help you expunge that from your reality, it's going to allow you to increase your capacity to serve and contribute to your community, to the people, to the animals who you are serving in better ways, ways that are good, right, and divinely aligned for you, for the people you serve, for the animals. If you're, like me, you're a spiritually minded animal lover, and even the animals in your home. This also includes your children, by the way, the people who you share your living environment with. Now, let me explain, if you would. So, first, as we're shifting, we're all becoming more intuitive. It's becoming more and more in the mainstream. No longer is intuition considered some kind of psychic woo-woo stuff. That's a thing of the old paradigm. So we are all learning to cultivate and develop our intuition and use it. Old school was like psychic predictions for sensationalism or for becoming someone's kind of like, their guru to make them feel better, give them a prediction so they could have some sense of safety about their future, right? No, that's new paradigm. It's a whole new ballgame. We're learning how to utilize this so that we allow the divine, our own higher self, our own team in the non-physical, and we all have teams, whether we realize it or not. We all have guides and a higher self and multiple beings. The more we work with our intuition, the greater our teams will grow because more beings come to us to help us. But the new paradigm is about working with the so-called higher realms to support and assist our community in revealing more of who they are and in discovering more of who they are, but also in helping, supporting, and assisting the divine to bring forward information, wisdom, guidance that will improve the quality of life for humans, for animals, for Earth, for those we serve. So intuition now is not just something, yes, we use it for ourselves, of course, to improve our lives and to help us navigate our way better, but it's really about allowing the divine to come through us in all of its various ways, whether it's masters, teachers, loved ones, guides, beings who have crossed over, divine goddesses, star family beings, whomever we're connecting, animal kingdom members, plant kingdom members, whether we're connecting with planetary bodies that have consciousness to share, weather patterns, there's consciousness in everything, everywhere. And when we develop our intuition, we can utilize that consciousness that is provided to us through our telepathic connection and use it to support and assist those around us. Now, this may seem, for some people, incredibly lofty, But for those of you who really are already developing your capacity to some degree or another, it's not that lofty. But this is just the reality that we're shifting into, is that we're gaining greater and greater capacity to support, assist, and serve one another, ourselves and one another, in higher and better ways. So developing our intuition then just becomes another way to increase our capacity to serve and contribute. That really is what it is. And here's the thing. If it seems really lofty, I want to say, and if you're not a person who perceives yourself to have really developed this, it's so simple. It's so easy to start developing it now. It's so easy. This is not relegated to the land of woo-woo anymore. There is so much credible scientific evidence for why you have access and ability to unlimited intuition, intuitive powers and gifts. Why? There's brainwave frequencies that we're not using in the old paradigm. For example, a theta brainwave. There is literally brain matter in the heart center and in the gut that can be developed and cultivated. You have extrasensory abilities that if this does sound lofty to you, I can assure you it's just that you didn't know that you could cultivate and develop this, because in the old paradigm it's considered to be woo-woo, right? You have in the center of your brain, you have the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, which basically are extrasensory organelles in the brain that are shut down for most people because of, foods that we eat, fluoride in the water, genetically modified foods, chemicals in the air, water, etc. And that can be completely decalcified. I mean, so effortlessly. Sometimes it literally is as easy as breathing. I'm not kidding. But of course, utilizing the divine, the higher consciousness that is available to us. It's not just regular breathing, right? But we utilize breath and we utilize intention. So there's no one who can't learn this. There's no one who can't do it. There's no one who doesn't have this capacity and this ability. So everyone has this potential within us, all of us, and it's up to us to develop it so that we can utilize it in service. And when we do, to ourselves and others, and so that we can allow more of the divine, the infinite, the all that is, to come through us and to provide to us the guidance, the wisdom, the higher consciousness, the information, the insight, and yes, the energy that we need to live better lives, to serve our clients and our community better, to have whatever it is revealed to us that we need, so that we're not constantly walking through life, concerned, worried, doubtful, unsure, unclear, lacking perspective, or in some state of uncertainty, etc. So I hope you will join me. Of course, I'm teaching, and this is like super low price for what I'm going to offer. I am teaching 2 classes coming up, and I want to talk more about the empathic overload part, but I'm inviting you to join me for these 2 classes coming up. They're on my website at lorispagna.com. One is Develop Your Intuition and Energy. The other is Cultivate Your Divine Empathic Abilities and Release Empathic Overload. So there are 2 classes. Each of them is a 2-part class. The Developing Your Intuition and Your Intuitive Gifts is the first class is on Thursday, June 27th. And the second class is on Tuesday, July 9th. That will be the first part is a teaching and practicum, and the second part is a Q&A with energetic support. Then for the Empathic Overload class, that one is a little bit later. That one is on Saturday, July 13th for the teaching and the practicum. And class 2 is on Tuesday, July 23rd. Of course, both of these, and I'll put the links in below, but both of these classes are on my website at lorispagna.com under the Work with Lori tab. You can register and join us. Please get in right away. And then I want to talk about the empathic abilities with you. But please register and join us before the price goes up, because right now it's super low priced, and I'm about to, after I send this email out, I will increase the rate likely, because it's super low rate for what I'm delivering. It's because I want people to develop this. These are not just basics, it's tools that everyone needs to really live a better life, to really serve and contribute to our communities better. I meet so many amazing high-level entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, incredibly progressed, spiritual, mission-driven, heart-centered beings who, are teaching something, and then what happens is their clients and their students come to them, and their clients and their students, in spite of the magnificent content that they're teaching, their clients and their students need next level service, because in the sacred bond that they share, their clients and their students are entrusting them with deeply personal and private information. And sometimes the practitioner, right, you who is serving those people or those animals, don't necessarily have the intuitive gifts or the tools that you need to help them at next level. This is going to help you to help your clients, your students at next level. And of course, yes, help you gain more clarity, insight, guidance for yourself. So I just want to emphasize that, because everyone's leveling up. Everyone needs more tools and abilities to contribute in better ways, because we're not learning as a collective in the same way anymore. We're not processing in the same way. Not for those of us who are truly on a path of higher consciousness, of expansion, of upliftment, of evolution. So our capacity has to up-level too, as we are up-leveling. Now, let me talk about the empathic overload part. Everyone is becoming more energetically sensitive, all of us. And what's going on top of us becoming more energetically sensitive, our human reality, our physical earth plane, is being bombarded with more and more technology and what we can call negative interference. It's not just technology and satellites in the air, like constantly bombarding us, but chemicals being dumped from the skies and flushed into the water system, and on and on and on. This stuff isn't designed, what I'm saying isn't designed to make you be fearful. It's to make you realize that, especially for people who are living in more populated areas, as we become more energetically sensitive, we are experiencing incredible empathic overload. And the most common thing that happens with empathic overload, what happens is people are resisting, fighting, and struggling with the energy around them. I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time from energetically sensitive beings, especially like in goddess circles. I'm involved with a lot of, sacred feminine women, amazing powerhouse women, but they're experiencing such empathic overload because of the people around them, because they haven't learned how to work with energy, because they're constantly putting up protection. This is so funny to me. I'm laughing, but it's because protection is not the solution. If it was, it would work. I'm not saying protection is necessarily a bad thing, but I am saying the resistance is the problem. The fighting with the energy, the struggling. This is why people are in a constant state of empathic overload, and this is just scratching the surface of it, because not only are we being bombarded with energies, as we are becoming more and more awakened through our own healing journey, we're shedding the layers of density, traumas, wounded patterns from the past, that because that stuff was layered in our energy field, it prevented us from feeling a lot of the stuff we were feeling sensorially, right? The things we were sensing. So now there's all this energetic overload. And until we learn how to really utilize energy and work with it in a conscious way, we experience this kind of empathic overload. And every time we're interacting with other people or in other groups or environments, we're feeling energy. We go to meditation circles. People are worried in those meditation circles or those healing circles about picking up other people's stuff. People feel other people's stuff. If you're a speaker, many of you are, or, any kind of presenter, you're picking up stuff. And if you don't know how to deal with the energy, even putting yourself in, white light of protection, which a lot of people do, they don't realize that that's really not the solution. It really doesn't work effectively enough. That's still a kind of a resistance, a way of resisting it. So this is why I'm teaching this second class on cultivating your divine empathic abilities and releasing empathic overload, because most people really don't know and don't understand how to work with energy. In fact, I've been in the spiritual, metaphysical, healing, energy working community now as a professional for well over 20 years now. And I really only started to step into a new level of mastery as it relates to energy, I'd say, over the last 5 to 7 years of doing this work. So I would invite you to really fast track your way to developing your intuition and cultivating your empathic abilities by joining us. And this really is going to be a high level program, but you don't have to have any prerequisites. This is why I say you will fast track your learning at a very accelerated pace in these 2 classes. So I'm inviting you to join us. Again, you can head over to Lori Spagna. Under the Work with Lori tab, you will see Develop Your Intuition and Your Intuitive Gifts, Talents, and Abilities. The 2-part class is on Thursday, June 27th, and again, Tuesday, July 9th. And the other class is Cultivate Your Empathic Abilities and Release Empathic Overload. That's an energy clearing too, right? So there's energetic healing in there. We call that healing, but it's really energy clearing, expunging you from, transmuting the energy that has caused and contributed to the empathic overload, the sensitivity to all the energy that is no longer serving you. And that 2-part class is on Saturday, July 13th, and then again on Tuesday, July 23rd. Both classes have a part 1 teaching and practicum and a part 2 Q&A and energetic support. Of course, both classes, all 4 classes, will be recorded for delayed and repeat listening, and you can own the classes on your computer or wherever you want to download them. So make sure you register. So even if you're not there live, of course, you'll have access. And please register right away, because the registration rate is going to go up to a more fair energetic exchange. I do the early bird rates to be of service and contribution to those who may be more challenged, but once the rates go up, I cannot reverse it, because it just ends up taking its own form of time and energy. So I hope you find this helpful. Even this information alone, I think, is quite helpful and insightful for you. And if you liked this, there's a lot more going to be even better, and a lot more in the class. In all of the classes, you will be able to fast track in a very accelerated way your psychic abilities and your empathic, your energetic abilities to work with and to know how to navigate using energy. It will certainly hugely and magnificently serve you in your business, in your career, in your vocation, but also in your home. I didn't mention that as much, but with the people around you and the animals, because first of all, the animals and the babies, the children, are psychic sponges and empathic sponges, right? And they already really get this intuitively. At some level, when we were children, we got it too, to some degree. But having to live in this world, and especially in that sort of old 3D paradigm, we had to shut all this down and sort of block ourselves. And now we're having to reclaim that. but the animals around us and the babies, the children in our home, not to mention our spouses, they will really benefit from this too, because we're all sharing energetic space. So as you learn to free yourself up from the energetic overwhelm, the burden, unburdening yourself from the blockages and the densities, and feeling more freed up, you will discover that the space and the environment of your physical location becomes so much more harmonious for you. And the people and the animals in your space will experience so much more harmony within and around them too, because this is what energetic liberation does. It's part of what happens. We start feeling internally a sense of so much more inner harmony. And that inner harmony, of course, reflects and expands around us in other people and animals who are super sensitive, i.e. all the animals are and all the children are. They feel it and experience it too, and that creates for more harmonious living situations and experiences overall. One last piece I'll say is that so many people over the years, especially people who come on my retreats, the sacred retreats I've been leading, and who show up to my webinars, they meet my dogs, right? They've met my dogs over the years, and the dog that I have right now, and they're always astounded at how calm they are, how relaxed they are, how, especially when people come to the live events in person and they meet my dogs, they'll be like, wow, especially the dog I have right now, they're like, this dog is like so relaxed. She hops right into her carry-along bed. She just so calm. She loves everybody, but the moment I go into, work mode, she just goes right, pretty much to sleep. Even on podcasts, she'll say hello, but then when I'm doing any kind of interview, she just really relaxes. It's because of this energy work. It's because, right, it calms and relaxes those around us. Because it also calms and relaxes us. Not only does it relieve us from empathic overload, but all forms of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, burnout. These are the kinds of things that we just aren't meant to carry with us anymore. And those are experiences of various degrees of energetic overwhelm, even to some degree. Stuff like depression is forms of energetic overwhelm and a lack of divine intuitive connection, right? Because really we're missing that connection with our source. And I know that may not be necessarily what you are directly experiencing. A lot of you have, burnout, overwhelm, overburdened, but maybe some of your clients or students or even children in your environment may have some form of, anxiety or depression. Whatever it is, those energies are no longer meant to come with us as we're progressing into our future. And energy work is the fastest and most effective way to resolve those kinds of issues. And while it's not a quick take a pill solution, what you'll be learning in this class are the tools you need to be able to work with that. And not that you necessarily will use it for those reasons, but these tools will absolutely alleviate those kinds of issues when utilized. And you will experience, it's just an amazing transformation, how quick and easy this kind of thing can be. Because in the new paradigm, energy is the name of the game. It does everything with us, in us, through us, and for us. We use our intuition to navigate that. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I hope this makes sense to you. Of course, I'll be able to address questions during the Q&A portion of each of these classes. So please do join us. Again, you can find the links over at LoriSpagna.com under the Work with Lori tab. Develop your intuition and energy, and cultivate your divine empathic abilities and release empathic overload. I will love to share sacred space with you during those two classes. I look forward to teaching and sharing this wisdom and consciousness and energy. You will love it and hugely benefit from it. So please do join us, and I look forward to sharing that with you. I'm going to sign off for now. Until then, I'm releasing you and sending you so much love, wishing you your most benevolent best. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.